We're making this lovely Dachshund. It's a sausage dog, it's a puppy, call it whatever you want to, but it's as cute as anything. It's one of my really popular and most requested workshops, and you can see why, can't you? He has a little collar. I've not made the collar, it's actually a puppy collar which I purchased. His little eyes are covered up by his ears, and he's got a dinky little nose. Cute. Let's get on with it. I'm going to put the template in the link below. Right, there we go. Just make sure that's nice and straight, no fabric is twisted. And then you have enough space to place the ear, like that there. Okay, so you need to cut 2 ears in this fabric. You need to cut 2 dogs, and then we'll cut 2 more ears in the plain fabric that goes underneath. And before we do that, what you can do is draw around it and then cut it out. But what I will do is, I've got an imprint of where that was, and I'm going to put a few pins around so the fabric doesn't move. So if I press that in. Okay, so we'll do that, hold the fabric down, and let's cut it out. Now, if you're confident with this rotary cutter, do that. If you're not, I suggest you draw around it and then use your scissors. And I've got some fabric here. I'm going to just lay that there and cut that out. So there we go. Now on your template, I've marked where the tummy is, and that's not just the tummy, it's the turning hole. So if I just mark it on here, there we go, like that. And that's going to be my turning hole. And what we need to do, take the pins out. So place the good side of your lining together with the good side of your ear. Now, this fabric is a stretch fabric, and also it's a fur. So what happens is when you place it inside your machine, it might move around. So you will need to use lots of pins. So make sure you do. And 4. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stitch 1 centimetre all the way around. Serge around the ears like that. You don't have to cut any of the seam allowance away. So when you go round curves, just walk it round. That's 1. Put all the pins back. So see how I'm turning the fabric round? Turn with the fabric. And there we go. So there's our 2 ears, and pull them through. You can go and give them a press if you want to, and then press it on the calico side. So if we remove the pin from there and open the head up, what we can see is that straight part that we cut is where the centre of the ear goes. So when this doggy is like that, we want the ear to go like that, don't we? So it's coming forward. And then what we do with this one is we mirror it on there, because it will be on there like that. So we want to place it on there. I'm going to have a little bit sticking out there. I'm going to pop the other one back on and match all the seams and put lots of pins in. So let's put a safety pin in there and hold all of the layers. So hold all the way through. Pop another one in there, lay it all the way through. And then just make sure you've got lots of pins everywhere. So because it's fur, it has a tendency to move. Okay, that is not going to move, is it? So you could do a hand stitch, or you could do lots of pins like that. And just be careful when you get to here that you can cut this on your knife. Now, just be wary that you have a good knife in there. And if it's better for you, remove the knife altogether. Right, time to sew our dog. So we're going to have the needles up, presser foot is up, and we're going to shimmy, so nice and gently, pull the fabric in there. Now we're going to place that line just under the needles. So our turning hole mark goes just below the needles. Presser foot is down, and I can see that mark there. When we're going round corners, what we need to do is straighten the fabric up. Now I've got my knife back up. I'm happy to use my knife. If you'd rather not, don't use your knife. So I'm going to just go around this curve. And then we come to the nose. We're going to go around slowly. Okay. Now the ears. Coming up the head and around the eyes. Now, the knife should do this easily, but if you've got a blunt knife, you might find it gets trapped. So be careful. Don't use a knife if you're worried. Just keep this inside and trim. So once that's sewn, just go around it all again and just check there are no mistakes, no holes. And then what we'll do is we'll take the pins out and stuff the toy. I'm going to take the safety pins out that were holding the ears. You need to make sure you do that. Now pull everything through. Again, if you did this on the sewing machine, make sure you snip into everything, all the rounded edges, so you make sure the dog can nod and wag his tail. So let's pull it all through. Let's grab his nose and pull it through, and his foot, pull it through, and there we go. There's our little pooch, little doggy. There it is. And then let's stuff. Let's add some stuffing. So I've got some stuffing there, and I'm beginning to think this fabric might have been better for a teddy bear. So I think I might make a teddy bear too. So look out for the CE logo, just to say that it is safe to use for children. So now that's properly stuffed, isn't it? I've picked out just exactly the right amount. So if you've got extra strong thread, that's going to be the best thread to use. Let's do a ladder stitch. Make sure you double up and set that away. Let's do this. So go straight into the seam, come out, and then I'm going to catch the fold of the fabric, catch the other fold on the other side, and then do that again on this side. Do that again on that side. And can you see how we're forming a ladder there? Keep them fairly close together. You don't want the stuffing to come out, so keep it fairly close together. If I pull that, you can't see the hole. So in there, go across the way, in there. I'm grabbing a good amount of fabric, not just a couple of fibres. Over there, back to over there, back to over there, and then give it a good pull. There we go. Again, a good stitch, so make sure you get a good stitch. Oh, and that you don't pull any of the stuffing out as you do it. And then when you get to the end, you can see my black mark there. I used a Sharpie so it could show on screen. So don't use a black mark like that. So when you come to the end, tie a knot. So I'm going through, I'm going to go back through the loop. Okay, let's do that again. So if I go in there, and the loop that's made, I'm going to thread through. And then if I pull on that, it doesn't pull any of the threads, and that's quite secure now. I can go pretty close to the thread, and I know that's I've used double thread length of extra strong thread, and there we go. So all we need to do is just soften him up, or her, don't know. Got my box of eyes, and I've got some ribbon because we don't know if it's a girl or a boy, but a rainbow ribbon will be perfect for either. And just flip that over. There we go. On, and that will hold when it dries. It takes about 2 hours to dry, it'll be fine. It's a little bit of glue. And then what you want to do is look at your dog and say, where do we want the eyes? And I think there. There's one. We need to look at him in the eyes, and there's two. What do we think? Does he look good? I think he does. He's got his rainbow ribbon. He's got his nose. He's got his eyes. And I think he's ready to go to his new home. Whoops. There we go. Bit different. Unique every time.